What's good, agents? Welcome to another deck profile video. Today, we're going to be talking about a new deck that we've been testing on Twitch and playing with people in the Digimon TCG Discord. And that is a black deck that focuses on WarGreymon and Black WarGreymon. For a while, we were running a Kreskarurumon setup, and I just really didn't like it. It just didn't vibe well with me, and whenever I played it, I always seemed to just pull shitty hands. So we went back, and we actually did this on stream. We retooled the deck quite a bit. I mean, we only changed out about 10 cards, but that actually made a huge difference. Now, I'm not going to promise you that this deck's going to win you any tournaments or anything like that. However, it is a lot of fun, and you might make a few people tilted with it, which is, you know, always a little enjoyable. I will go back in and upload some of the matches that we've had with this deck, hopefully in the next couple weeks here, matches that we had on Discord with some people. And every game that we had with this deck on stream, we won. We won the set for sure. I don't think we lost either the rounds, but I know that we won the sets that we played. So, and it played against a green deck using Imperialdramon, and then it also played against a green Imperialdramon deck. And then it also played against kind of like a blue Imperialdramon V-Dramon setup. And it did surprisingly well. So without further ado, let's just get into the deck. For your Digitama, we're just using 4 Kopurimon. If you want to put a Sunamon in here, you could. Or Sumimon, I think that's what it's called. You know, Diaboromon's Digitama form. You could, but I found that it was just frustrating to have it in here because, you know, I just didn't really need him. So I just opted to take him out and go 4 Digitama instead of 5. All right. So first up, we're going to take a look at our level 3s. We are running, surprise, surprise, 3 Gotsumons. I mean, it's a 3 cost level 3 blocker. I don't think you need any other reason than to have him in this deck other than the fact that that's what he is. Next, we're running, did I say 3 copies of Gotsu? 4 copies. We're also running 4 copies of Commandramon. Another really easy, he explains himself. He's a vanilla card, he put it to 2 costs, 0 to evolve, 3k DP. Very typical. Then, we're running kind of like the star rookie of this deck, and that is Toy Agumon. Toy Agumon, while he only has 1,000 power, his benefit is the fact that he will give whatever Digimon, you know, he's an evolution source of Reboot, which, as you'll see later, is a big part of the combos that this deck, it loves Reboot. And then lastly, we're running 2 Psychmon. Really because he's a 3 cost, just hard play him if you need to, and he's got 5,000 power, and sometimes that will come up and be quite valuable. Sometimes you just need it to kind of hit over something, because 5,000 power is still pretty nice, especially against Rookie Rush. You can take out the V-Mons, things like that, pretty easy. Hell, you could take out a Frigimon with this guy. So, he can be pretty useful. That's why we only run him as a 2, because of that 1 to evolve cost. Sometimes that's actually screwed me out of being able to get out a stronger Digimon. So I used to run him at 4 and Commandramon at 2 like a dummy. And then I flipped that over, so Commandramons are 4 and Psychmons are 2. So let's go ahead and take a look at our level 4s. All right. Okay. So we have 4 Greymon, another star to this deck. The Greymon line is really key to this deck. You would be fine if, like, you got into a situation and you weren't getting all the pieces. It's okay. But the ideal lineup will be Toy Agumon to Greymon to Metal Greymon, and then your level 6 on top. But we'll get to those combos in a bit. His inheritable, if the Digimon he's under has Reboot, he'll give him jamming, which is fucking awesome. Next, we have Guardramons. 4 of them. Pretty simple. Blocker. 7k DP. He can attack, but you don't need him for that. You literally just need him to take hits for you. That's why he's here. You can evolve him over Gotsu. You can hard play him if you need to because of that 5 cost. It's not too terrible, as you'll see later. Usually you'll have the memory, especially later on in the game, to be able to just hard play Guardramons when you're in a shitty situation. And then next, we actually run 3 Tankmons. 1 cost to evolve, level 4. Simple. I know it's kind of a weird number, I thought I had another another Tankmon, but allegedly not. I know that might be seen like a weird number. Was at 8, 11 instead of 12 level 4s, but trust me, it still works out. And Takemon's really here because he's cheap to evolve, and you might need to get into your level 5s pretty quickly based on your hand. Next, we're running 3 Metal Greymons. Now, this guy already has Reboot. So if you don't have Toy Agumon, it's no big deal. Because if you're still building up that ladder through Greymon to Metal Grey, he's already got Reboot. So he'll be able to take advantage of Greymon's jamming. His Inheritable, however, gives your Digimon with Reboot +1 security attack. And again, this will come up quite often as you kind of see how the layouts and the combos for this deck work. Next, now don't ask me why we only have 3. We're running 3 Andromon, not 4. Part of why we're running 3 and not 4 is because I literally don't have another one, or at least I can't find a 4th one. I thought I had like 4 or 5, like 6 of these guys, to be honest with you, but I can't find them. So we're running it at 3, and it still works perfectly fine. I could see myself adding in another one and taking something else out. Not entirely sure about it, though, because these guys serve their purpose. Then next, we have these 2 level 5s of Giromon or Giromon. Now, they're there for their inheritable of giving my Digimon or your Digimon +1000 DP on your opponent's turn. Now, this might sound like, but what value does that have? And I'll get to that in a second. But again, it's kind of another option for you if you need that extra DP to keep one of your blockers alive, your level 6, or in order to just kind of really to make sure that your level 6 survives through your opponent's turn if you need them to. And this has actually come up more than I thought it would in those games that we had on stream a few days ago. He actually saved us on more than one occasion in both games. So next, let's get into level 6s, your bosses of the deck. So we are running 2 Black WarGreymons. Now, I feel like people extremely underestimate the value that this Black WarGreymon can bring. So he does a couple of things, right? He's got 2 valuable skills. The first one is if your opponent has a Digimon with 10k DP or more, his play cost is reduced by 6, meaning you can just hard play him for 7. Now, that's not ideal, but sometimes you might just need to do that. The most important skill, though, is his when attacking skill. So if you attack your opponent's Digimon who has the highest DP, he restands himself. So depending upon the situation, you could literally attack, restand, and just wipe somebody's board if they've tried to get through all of your defenses, which is going to happen, again, more than you think. Why? Because you have all these blockers, and you're over here blocking everything that they're doing, or what have you, and then you can drop WarGreymon and just start clearing out their board. Of course, to do that, you'll have to evolve into it the next turn, but still, that comes up, I think, more than you would think. Then we run 2 of the WarGreymons, of course, the black one. He is pretty standard. He's got 11k DP, 3 costs to evolve, but he's got Reboot and Blocker. This is where some of those other combo pieces come in, which we'll get to in a minute. I'm trying not to get ahead of myself like I did in the last video, where we went through the combos at the same time. I'm trying to section it off a little bit, make it a little easier to digest. But, WarGreymon, pretty good. Nice blocker. With the Giromon, you can boost him up to 12k DP on your opponent's turn, so he can block pretty much most things. And then we got 2 Machine Dramons. Now, I do have another Black WarGreymon copy coming, and when I get it, what's probably going to happen is I'll take out 1 Machine Dramon and put in another Black WarGreymon. Machine Dramon is a blocker. You can evolve into him, but what makes him awesome is that on-play skill, you can get to de-digivolve by 2 of your opponent's Digimon. And that can really save your ass. Obviously, again, if you want to evolve into him, you can. He still has value as a blocker with 11k DP, but this is really a card you want to hard play because of that de-evolution ability. Now, with him, the reason why I'm thinking about taking out 1 is I think the WarGreymon for me has more value in terms of overall win strategy and win condition. But again, this is kind of like a deck that's still being workshopped. but I wanted to share it with you guys now to see if you had any ideas or thoughts about it. And if you want to play against it, we definitely can on stream. I stream Monday through Friday, and I pretty much Monday is my dedicated day for Digimon, but I will play it whenever the fuck I feel like. So let's go ahead and pick these up. Let's get to our Tamers. Our Tamers are pretty straightforward in terms of black. We have 2 Tai Kamiya. He's a memory tamer, super simple. But what makes him goated is giving your opponent, your Digimon, an additional 1,000 DP on your opponent's turn. Again, it's pretty self-explanatory with your blockers. With GarDramon, you're now sitting at 8K, so you're blocking the Pale Dramons and a lot of other, level 5s that are outside of red. You're blocking shit, which is really nice. And if you get both of them out, that's 2,000 DP. And of course, if you have Giromon under a level 5 for some of those blockers, they're now gaining 3,000 DP. So your WarGreymon is going to be at 14K, or potentially even 13K is probably what's going to be more common. That's kind of what was happening to me a lot. And you can block damn near anything. Imperialdramon, the only thing that you're going to be really worried about is your level 7s. Next, we are running 3 copies of Joe Kido. Pretty self-explanatory. If you have a blocker, you gain an extra memory at the start of your turn. This deck has a shit ton of blockers. If you can get out all 3 Joes and Tai, you're going to be at 6 memory every freaking start of your turn, which will let you drop like WarGreymon for free. You can drop him with his ability and put your opponent to 1. So it's pretty nice if you can kind of set that up. If you need to hard play WarGreymon, if you need to hard play Machine Dramon, these guys will make it so that you're not giving them 10 freaking memory. Next, look at the option cards in this deck. Now, the options, they're really hit or miss. I think that's a problem with black in general, but they're really, really hit or miss. So I don't think that I haven't found an optimal build yet for options. We run 2 Spider Shooters. Why? It Digivolves by 1. Digivolution is the name of the game here, because that will save your ass so much against some of these meta decks. Point blank period. Then we also run 2 Infinity Cannons. Infinity Cannon Digivolves 1 Digimon by 4. Ideally, you want to see these in your security more so in your... Well, these 2 in your hand is great. Infinity Cannon in your security is awesome. This actually saved us a couple of times, came in clutch in the matches that we had on stream. The last option card we run is Breath of the Gods. Now, you could make the argument to take out Infinity or to take out 1-1 and put in more Breath of the Gods. I think it really depends on kind of your playtest and kind of your style and what you want to do. For those of you who don't know, Breath of the Gods will give one of your Digimon reboot until the end of your opponent's turn, and then also your Digimon, your DP cannot be reduced to 0. So if you're fighting against a Shine Greymon or a yellow deck in general, this card is pretty nice. You can save your ass if you're expecting to get shined. And then also it prevents your Digimon from being returned to your hand or deck. Again, it's great. It protects it from pretty much everything but a regular attack. And, I mean, you can still get Gaia Force, but Now, what makes Breath of the Gods super special is to me the fact that if it's in your security, the rest of your opponent's Digimon cannot attack you for the rest of that turn. This card literally saved my ass on stream last week. It was the last card in security. Opponent had a full board, but they had like 2 security left, and we had a board of quite a few Digimon. They hit this, and that was it. Their turn. I mean, it was over. They couldn't do anything, and saved my ass. So I thought about adding in more, but I'm gonna keep play testing this Breath of the Gods and see how I like the deck if I take these 2 out and load up on Breath of the Gods. We'll see. But if you guys are trying this deck or want to try it out, go ahead and let me know kind of what worked for you, what didn't work, and what we can kind of workshop this deck as a community. I think that'd be pretty dope. So let's get into some of the combos and some of the stacks that you want to make with this deck. So, of course, you want your Kapurimon. Kapurimon will give your Digimon that have reboot 1,000 DP on your turn. So the ideal stack is go Kapurimon to Toyagumon. I mean, this should be pretty obvious, right? To Greymon. to Metal Gray. So now, with your your level 6, you can really use any of your level 6s and give them a whole litany of abilities. Ideally, you'll want to put it on Black WarGreymon if you have a stack like this. You could use, again, you could use any of them. But why? Again, Black WarGreymon is going to have reboot now, so he's going to be at 13,000 power, meaning he's swinging over most everything that your opponent has that's not a level 7. He's going to have +1 security attack and fucking jamming. And again, if you're in that scenario where your opponent has a bunch of Digimon that are out, that are all suspended because they were trying to hit your blockers and get rid of other things, Black WarGreymon is just going to do this. I hit 1. Oh, okay, that was weird. My power went out for like 0.1 seconds. But, all right, agents. Anyway, that was really weird. So Black WarGreymon's going to swing. He's going to hit your monster. Okay? He's going to stand up again. He's going to swing, hit your monster. He's going to clear through your Digimon, and then he can still hit your security for +1 check with jamming. It's clutch as hell. Again, I still got to keep testing this deck against other playstyles and see how it does. But so far, this is like the optimal sort of win condition, is getting this guy out in this way and just start clearing out your opponent's security and their Digimon. Obviously, you can do other interesting things with this deck as well, to where, you know, you have your Kapurimon, you Digivolve down here, and then just start hard. Don't be afraid to hard play these blockers. That's what I've noticed. Don't be afraid to hard play these guys. They'll come in clutch. Even if you have to pay 7 to drop Andromon, he'll come in clutch. I find with this deck that you can't be so evolve hungry to just keep drawing, because sometimes you're just going to burn up your blockers evolving on top of them with other blockers. When you could have been like, here's a blocker, here's another Gotsumon, here's an Andromon, and had gone wide. You really don't want to go tall unless you're trying to build into WarGreymon, Black WarGreymon, WarGreymon, and maybe even Machine Dramon, because again, while his Digivolve ability is cool, if you've got that stack that we showed off earlier with Black WarGreymon, he's gonna have reboot, he's gonna have +1, he's gonna have jamming, and he's gonna be sitting at a beautiful 12k. And on your opponent's turn, depending upon what you have, you know, it might be even higher than that. So just some food for thought. I'd really love, you know, any suggestions or thoughts you guys have about the deck. I'm going to keep experimenting with it, but I wanted to share it with you guys because it did really well on the stream. I'm still going to put together the deck profile that you guys have been asking for our Imperial Dramon, Ulforce V Dramon combo deck that everybody tells me will never work, but then they lose to it. So I will put together a deck profile for that as well. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you for sticking with us. And yeah, let's discuss the deck in the comment section and let me know, you know, what deck you're rocking right now, what you're kind of in the lab with. But anyway, guys, take care. Peace.